Hi, I'm Sonnet with Sonnet's Garden Blooms, and I want to welcome you all to my channel. If you haven't been here before, you're going to find a lot of DIY, furniture flipping, just the day in the life of a small business owner. Now, today's video, I'm taking 5 items and I'm flipping them. So go ahead, stay tuned. I'm doing a little cottagecore and a little farmhouse, kind of intermixing. And at the end, go ahead, if you like that video, hit like and let me know what your favorite item was. I'm actually really liking the, I call it the riser. Many in the comments had said it was a candle stand, but that is by far my favorite. So let me know what yours is. Today I'm using the IOD transfer wander. Now this is the first time I have used a transfer, and I know that I've been wanting to try one for a while. So I thought I would try it on a few of the items today that I'm flipping and really see how I like this technique. So let's go ahead and get started. So on my very first flip here, I am taking this glass bottle and I am going to use a few transfers on the bottle. Now, I've never opened up a transfer before, but I am going to show you here. Each transfer, this transfer comes with 4 sheets. So what I am going to do on Monday, I do plan on doing a furniture flip video where I am going to upcycle one of those hope chests. So I'm going to use today the first 2 pages for my flips, and then the second pages here I'm going to use on that hope chest. So now that I determined that the second 2 pages were for the hope chest, I'm going to look through the first 2 pages, and I've picked out 2 of the smaller images that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to take those, cut them out, and then cut them down as well so that I can fit them onto my glass bottle. Now, when I initially did this, I had to figure out where I wanted to lay it, but these went on really quick and easy. I just used that little scraper tool that goes with it, and they just came right off. I was actually very surprised how easy it was to do this. So I then just wanted to finish it off with some twine, and I love how it turned out. So my next item is this basket, and I really loved it. It reminds me of the fall. I am going to use this custom color. It's called Conifer Green, and I ended up getting it. I did a custom barn quilt, and this was one of the colors. Because of the green in this glass, or on the transfer in the glass, I am going to paint the edges, and we're going to go and I'm going to try to use the transfer on the front, even though we'll see how it works. I'm going to try it. So I just want to put a transfer right on the front, but I'm going to paint the edges the same green. So a lot of these colors too are what they call like cottagecore colors. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I know that some of the feedback I got was like, what's the difference between, cottagecore, farmhouse, shabby chic, and a lot of the main principles are basically the same. It's a lot of like the old vintage. I think the cottagecore is more like a lot of like what they call granny style, and so a lot of these muted colors go along with it. The blues, the greens, just think colors that your grandma would like. Along those same lines, it also, kind of like just relax and enjoy. We live in such a fast-paced environment, and I think, and I can attest by that, because I feel like some days I cannot figure out if I'm coming or going. And during COVID, I just think that everyone was able to really slow down and enjoy what our grandparents did, just a more simple life. And that's kind of what it all, boils down to. I did find a book. I was trying to do a little bit more research, and I still go back to buying just, books, and it's all about cottagecore. So I'm going to show you guys that too, and I will link it in the description. It's kind of cool. It just goes all the way from like the design style to, like gardening and cooking and just all kinds of real fun things related to the whole cottagecore. It's not super expensive, and it's really worth the read, and such beautiful, beautiful pictures. Just really, really a good book. All right, so we got the green done. So because I used this, I'm gonna just use that piece on the front of the basket, and let's see how this goes. They claim you can put it on just about anything, so let's see if that is true. So as I started this, I trimmed it down and I laid it out, and it was a little bit more difficult than I originally thought it would be. Having those ridges in there, I probably should have, I don't know how I could have done it differently. Maybe started on one end and then slowly worked my way. But I think I would have really benefited by having like a razor blade to cut it and then lay it down further. Overall, I'm happy. No, I don't hate it. I actually think it turned out kind of good. I just wish that it would have just looked a little better, but live and learn. I still love the basket, and I think it turned out great. It's gonna go really cool with that. And I will be selling both of these at my booth at the Paul Bunyan Days in Eagle River. So I love both of them. Just real quick, I wanted to show you the book that I was talking about, Escape into Cottagecore. Again, I will have it linked in the description below, but it's just so cute. Like Cottagecore interior checklist. So it kind of goes, if you were looking at doing your interior, there's a checklist, and then it just goes into a lot of really great details. And it's not that much, and it's a pretty good read. So, all right, let's get on to the next item. And lastly, I ended up getting this other basket. Remember I said it really reminded me of the whole cottagecore theme as well. Being out in the garden, gathering flowers. And with this one, I am just going to go ahead and paint the handle. I just think that will add a little bit of something to it and just change the basket up a hair. So I'm going to just take that same green, which it is called Conifer Green, and I don't know if these are actually Sherwin-Williams colors. The couple that had me do that custom barn quilt actually brought me the samples, and normally I have my own colors, but they wanted to have it a little bit of custom to match wherever they were going to be hanging it. And I know that many of you had mentioned that you want to see a tutorial. I do have something in the works. Honestly, with how busy I am, I barely got this out. I've been just crazy busy prepping for my shows, and barely have time to sleep. So I thought, well, I'm gonna use these at the shows. I might as well make a video of it. So that's why you guys are getting this. But honestly, I've had many hours just pounding out all different product, And but I promise that once things slow down, I will put out a video showing you the barn quilts, and there's just some other things that I'm working on with that as well. So I just wanted to mention that, but again, I'm just absolutely loving this green. It just, like I said, reminds me of all those muted cottagecore colors. So just by putting that on there, see how cute that looks. And really, I didn't even have to do a lot to the basket. And I'm gonna let that one dry. No, I am not going to do any type of transfer on this one. That one was hard enough, so I think with this type of basket, it would be a little bit more difficult too. All right, so the next item, if you guys remember from my last haul, it's like many of you called it a candle holder. I thought it reminded me of a riser. What we're gonna start off with is I'm going to paint it with the chalked Rust-Oleum. I'm going to distress it a little bit, and then I am going to, I think just right on the top here, I'm gonna put a really cool transfer there, possibly. And we're gonna see how that looks. Now I'm putting 2 coats of the white chalked Rust-Oleum paint on here, and then I will start distressing. So I put the 2 coats on this piece, and now I'm just gonna wet distress it, and I just wet it down with some paper towel. If you haven't wet distressed items before, it makes the cleanup so easy. There's not the dust with the chalk paint, and it comes off real easy. So you can see I just put a little pressure in an area and rub, 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 and off it goes. Okay, so there you have it, just some distressing on here. And now we're gonna put the transfer on the top. So what I decided to do was just use one transfer here right on the edge, and then another one right on the very bottom. And we're gonna try to work around some of these, fill it in around there and see if we can get that to work. So let's go ahead and start with the top first. So I set it down and I just started rubbing with that transfer stick like I had on the basket. This went on so much smoother than the basket, probably because it is a flat surface. I loved how it turned out. On the bottom where the ridges were, it was a little bit more difficult, but I got the top piece, which was flat. I did that first, got that down, and then just slowly but surely made my way around the ridges. I love it. I think it turned out great. Took me a little bit to do it, but I absolutely love it. So while we're in the painting mood, we are going to next, I'm going to paint these all with the chalked white, or the linen white, and we're gonna distress them, and then this is gonna be a finished project. I thought about painting all the bases black first and then distressing them and have it come through. I think it's gonna look kind of neat, distressing and having the different colors come through. So let's go ahead and get these painted. So I did 2 coats of white chalked Rust-Oleum on these. And again, with these, I am just going to take a wet paper towel and wet distress them just to bring out some of the underneath color. And each one, if you remember correctly, looked just a tad different. They had a different finish. One was, I think this was more brass. This one was more like a silvery black. And then this was fully black. So I'm just going to, like I said, wet distress it and bring out some of that, that beauty that was underneath. So once I was done doing this wet distressing on all of these 3 items, I then did clear coat it with a spray, polyacrylic spray, just to seal it completely. I found this little mail slot at the local thrift shop. So what I did is I did 2 coats of paint. I'm just going to distress it up a bit just so it doesn't look as perfect, since it really isn't perfect. So it is completely distressed, and now I am going to use my favorite set from IOD. It is called Typesetting, and the reason I love it so much is that you do get all the capital letters and you get the lowercase, and then you also get a set of numbers. So I'm just absolutely loving this set, like I said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the numbers on this one, and we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. So let's show you how I'm going to do that. I am using the IOD black ink, which is permanent, and I set the number 1 down where I wanted it, and then I picked it up on the plastic piece. It's very easy to use. If you haven't used the stamps before from IOD, a couple things to know. When you do get the stamps, you pull this backing off of the actual stamps, and then you take a light grit sandpaper and you just sand all the actual stamps themselves. It just seasons them so that it's ready to get the ink. I know the first time I got it, I was like, what? You want me to do what to it? But it really preps the actual stamps themselves for the ink. All right, so we got number 1. And after 1 went on, 2 and 3 went on as quick as can be. And you can see there's 2 and then 3. And there you have it. So what did you guys all think? What was your favorite item? Again, mine was at Riser, and this week I am going to, well actually this weekend, I'm taking a little mini break. I am enjoying the North Woods, and then right back at it Sunday when I get back home. I'm going to be stocking my vehicle to head back up to attend Paul Bunyan Days, which is on Wednesday. So I'm gonna bring you guys along for that. I want you to all enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you Monday.